All right. Shalom, shalom, and shalom, Sister Deborah. Coming this evening with a message. And this message is going to cover faith. Wow, faith. I want to talk about faith because it's a word that must be spoken about. Because on the outside, which is the flesh, it'll have its own understanding in faith. But what Sister Deborah is going to bring you to is a level of faith that's just not found in the flesh of man. Mhm. That's a beautiful thing for me because I was talking to myself in the car. I had to take care of some business, and all that time I was just talking to myself regarding faith. And I realized that faith is one of those things in which I can't say drop the ball anymore, but truth holds firm too. Faith is not something that people take a hold of and they can swing it left and they can swing it right. But let me explain something. Do you know that 99.9 believe that faith is something that they have, they contribute, or they put in, or they dedicate? Mhm. I'm telling you, it just, in such a midnight hour, so many people believe they rule it all. They really do. And it's a sad thing because anytime at this hour, the hour, not hour, but day of this hour, I'm going to say it like that. The day of this hour, the mindsets believe they rule. They think that they rule the beginning to the end. They think they ruled from A to Z. They really do, y'all. And you might sit and say, well, Sister Deborah, you can't speak of everybody. No, I can't. But when I say 99.9, let me tell you something. It's just that close in the spirit realm. That's just how many people have gone so far another way, in another direction. Okay? This faith is likened to truth. Truth came with the breath. Okay? Faith came with the spirit. Okay? Truth came with the breath. Faith came with the spirit. See, that's what people didn't know. And I'm sitting here riding, and I said, I didn't care if people, would be driving by and saw me. I was all in the conversation because I was already there. I was comfortable. I was at that place where I knew that what I was saying to myself was very powerful. And I was talking to myself about faith. And like I said, 99.9 of individuals here on the earth really believe faith is what they take a hold of, what they make it out of, what they say that it is, the way they feel about it, the way they interpret it. You see, the way they define it. But faith has no connection to the natural man, okay? Faith can only be found in the spirit of a man. These are all the brands of Yah that came down in the spirit of man. You know how he say, redeem, come to redeem? Redeem means what? Redeem is a word that actually means to buy back, okay? You bought something back, or you buy something back as if you once owned it. See, that's why I don't listen to nobody. It's because if you ever think about redeeming and that, hey, I fall under that category of being redeemed, you have to know the definition of redeemed. And if redeemed is defined as something that one hold firm to, okay, and it got loose, and now I got to go out here and catch it or redeem it back or buy back or bought back. Back where it belongs. I'm in this car talking, and I know that I know everything I'm saying is 100. Because I did this I was so deep into this word faith, and I said to the Father about truth. This faith goes so deep, y'all, to where the world is looking for faith in any and everything they possibly can use faith in. And it ain't coming to deliver them. Not in this war, not in the chaos, not in the lawlessness, not in the judgment of the Most High Yah's wrath on the earth, not in tribulation, not in perilous times. Oh no, faith ain't coming to deliver you from none of that, y'all. Faith ain't done its job. It's finished. It's with that word in the kingdom. It is finished. That's what faith is. It's finished. So I'm sitting here about to talk about something that's finished. You know why? When I'm done talking with you, you're going to realize you learned something. And that you did not know that faith is not something that you got a hold of. Or you have some say-so about. Or you control. Okay? Or you rule. No. You can take your butt over there to your flesh with your flesh, and you can try to find faith under your flesh territory. But faith, the real faith, is not something your hands can't even touch. Your brain can't even, now I ain't gonna say definition, your brain can't even bring it into anything. You can't. That's how powerful it is. It's something that the Father holds dear to. And I'm grateful. Because when I think of all of the Father's brands, these brands is what y'all put in the spirit of man and women. This is what he put in the spirit of men and women. And that's what he was redeeming back. Those who had these things, some didn't have nothing but one. Some got two. Some might have three. But there are some that has one. But these are brands of the Most High Yah that branded the spirits of those he redeemed back. That's why when you see where Abraham was in the vision and he believed, who wouldn't believe if you was in the vision with the Most High Yah? You'll believe too. But what did he tell Abraham? No, bro, I counted it as righteousness. That's what you accounted in the kingdom, Abraham, as righteousness. You see? So which of these brands do you know that you hold in your spirit? These are brands to the spirit of a man, not to the flesh. Your mama didn't give it to you. Your daddy, your grandparents, your great-great-grandparents, your pastor didn't preach it to you. Your pastor can't preach this to you and you have it. No. You can't fast. You can't fast. You can't pray this to be upon you. Did y'all know that? These are brands of the Most High Yah that he has placed in the spirits of those that left his bosom, that was written in the Lamb Book of Life. This is what he's redeeming back, what he lost. That's what he was redeeming back. See, y'all didn't know that. Y'all thought they was just redeeming you because you think you sold A1 or A+. No, he was redeeming all this back, y'all. Why? Because it's left. This here left out of the Lamb Book of Life. Those spirit that left out of the Lamb Book, not the Lamb Book of Life, but the Lamb Book. These are the spirits that left out. They had these brands. Some have one, some have two. Now, what we're going to deal with is Hebrew, the book of Hebrew, chapter 11. And you're going to learn something tonight. And because I learned something just talking to myself. But guess what I was doing, y'all? I was preaching to myself, and it felt good. Because I was saying things, and I was learning as I was speaking. And I got on that faith, and I wore that thing out. So I said, no, that's my topic, faith. I saw faith as a brand of the Father, but I saw it at the highest level that it can reach. Let's rumble. Hebrew chapter 11. In the book of Hebrew, chapter 11, verse 1. In the book of Hebrew, chapter 11 and verse 1. See, people, I'm gonna go and do a little bit something. See, what y'all didn't know is this. Let's say the lamb was slaughtered before the foundation of the world. And now there's a lamb book that's written. Why? Because the lamb was slaughtered before the foundation of the world, okay? And all of those that's written in that book, that's the purpose of that lamb being slaughtered. Why? Because the time that they were to be redeemed back, the lamb was slaughtered before the foundation of the world. And the spirits of those who are written in that book, they were written in the book before the lamb came to the earth and before they enter into the earth. So now they're on the earth, okay? And now they have gotten away from the light in which they came down here to walk therein. So they got off the path in which they were sent down. So the lamb that was slaughtered before the foundation of the world, they are written in that book. Now he got to come down and do what? Die on the earth like he died in the kingdom. Why is he dying on the earth? Because now he has to redeem those that's left the bosom of the Father from the book of the Lamb. He has to redeem them back to the Lamb book. That's why the Lamb was slaughtered. Because they got off the righteous lane, off the righteous lane, and went into the unrighteous. So the Lamb was only slaughtered for a time as it was appointed. He was slaughtered before the foundation of the world. The spirits were put already in the Lamb book of life. They come down here to the earth. They was doing everything the serpent seed was doing. They were totally off what they should have been doing. Why? Why should they have? Because they came down with the spirit of truth as well. But they had these brands in them, y'all. You see, Abraham believed, but what did the Father say? No, bro, I counted you already in. When was he counted? In the book of the Lamb. You next to you, Abraham, is righteousness. Okay, there go that brand. You already counted. Okay, you already counted in, bro. When were we counted? Before the foundation of the world. So the Lamb comes down, and what comes down where the Lamb abide in, you got the flesh, the Son of Man, and you got the Son of Yah. Now, they come down, and what happens? The Son of Man, his sacrifice was to pick up where Adam dropped off, and that's at the beginning. You see, he couldn't uphold sin. But the Son of Man, he comes down to do what Adam couldn't do in the what? The flesh. And by him having the Son of Yah with him, he was able to do it victorious. Okay. Now, when he went, remember it says at the cross, he gave up the ghost. 99.16 trillion wouldn't catch it. And they ain't gonna catch it. They don't want it. They could care less. See, a lot of them want to make the Son of Man the Son of Yah. You can't. You can only make the Son of Man the Son of Yah after you understand and understood the Son of Man, and you fully 100% understand the Son of Yah. Why? Because understanding the Son of Yah come with power. Understanding the Son of Yah come with the word. Understanding the Son of Yah come with the Ruach HaKodesh. Okay? So it's no need in you sitting here understanding the man, because when he hung up on the cross, he gave up the ghost. Then it takes you back to who he was talking to before he died. Why have you forsaken me? Take away this bitter cup. You see? That's the Son of Yah who went to the grave with him, to the tombstone. Waited there 3 days. Why? Why? Because the norm of a man in the grave, 3 days, he began to decay. But what did he have at the tombstone? All power. Ha, ha, ha. That's who raised him up. Why did he raise Yeshua up? Because he had to redeem all of the brands up that was in Yeshua. And when Yeshua raised up, every last one of us that comes down here in the spirit with brands of the Father, we too shall get up too. We were redeemed. We were redeemed. These here it's not in everybody. Now, truth is in everybody, but these here brands are not branded in everybody, because this here is branded in the spirit. So don't think he don't know who's coming back home. See, that's another sad thing. Everybody want to make it look like he don't know his left from his right. You the one don't know. Matter of fact, you don't know if you got a left. You don't even know if you got a right. So how about that? How about that? So when we get here so that's how redeemed. You have to understand what redeemed mean back. Bought back. Well, what was brought back? Not every man, woman, not every male and female was brought back. Something was brought back to who? The bosom of the Father. Why? Because they're written in the book already. Therefore, they got to come back. They got to come back to my bosom because their names are written already. You see? That's what redeem means. So now you see people going to celebrate Easter and don't have no idea the power in the death, the burial, and resurrection. Oh, if you can only knew, if you only knew the power that was performed during that death, burial, and resurrection. And what shut everybody down is 3 things took place. Yeshua was getting bent because they were falling asleep. Yeshua was getting bent because that hours was near. What hours was that? That he give up the ghost. The real deal. The whole purpose of why he came. See, no matter what he did and how he taught us, he had to die for the sin. So that's why it was so powerful for him to go out and pray and realize they over here sleeping every time they come back. You're not watching. What you want them to watch for? Why? Because the Son of Man was in the flesh. And he was feeling that thing, which is good. That's why I try to tell y'all, you got to feel something. But you know what I realized? People ain't going to feel nothing. Because hate and evil is so rooted in people, they ain't got time to feel nothing but just that. And they would call it the righteous hate, a good hate, a good hate. So what happened? when he went through that and he began to say, take away this bitter cup, not mine, but thy will, not my will, but thy will. That right there, another sign, flesh speaking. When he got when he was on that cross, what did he say? Why have thou forsaken me? Why? He feeling that thing now. Feeling the end game of what? The mission. And then it tells you he gave up the ghost. He gave up the ghost. And another mystery about it, you all, and I'm going to show you why all the temples, the places of worship, the churches, the temples, the synagogues, all of them are liars. All of them. All of them are liars. Because he had to die in the flesh. Like Abraham sinned in the flesh. Not Abraham, Adam sinned in the flesh. Now, this knocks everybody down. This knocks everybody down. The reason why his son, Yeshua, the Son of Man, born of a woman, he didn't want no flesh, no sperm of a man detached. That's too much sin, Deborah. I don't want that narrow. That's too much sin. But the key message to that is, you all, is if Eve played such a heavy role in the sin itself, why was he bringing a second Adam and not an Eve? You know why? The Roman Catholics had made it look like it was her all the time. And y'all, it was a lie. It's a lie. What I would call, I don't know what you can call it, but I can call it from the deep hole of the pit of hell. Why? Because it exists and they held firm to it even to this appointed day. See, what sense will it make for him to make sure he sent another one like unto the first one? If the first one didn't sin, it was the woman. Looked like he would have sent a woman, when you think, to wipe away, since she was the one. You see? Oh no. First thing they'll say, oh, but he was the man. No. You're wrong by that. His son, the Son of Man, to wipe up the mess. The Son of Man, the man in the beginning, cracked. Adam cracked. Yeshua came to wipe his mess up, to show you it don't have to be like he did it. That tells this prophetess in the wilderness exactly what I always knew. It was never a woman. That's why he's Son Man. The same one that brought in sin, he had to have sent another one to take it away, like the one that brought it in. He had to send another one, a man, like the one that really brought it in. He had to send another one, like unto him. And that's what Yeshua represents. Another Adam. Not another Eve, but another Adam. See, I know what the first thing they say, but he's a man because he's the man, he's the head. Hey, sit your tail down. Sit your tail down. You don't know what you're talking about. Because if you knew what you was talking about, you could go back and read and see. Dominion and power was given to him and her. Her and him. He called it them. What part you didn't get? Not him, but them. That busted all over all of the churches as well. All the synagogues, all the temples, and all the men that lied. Just as, let me give you an identity. Just as Jacob stole Esau's identity, in the beginning, man stole woman's identity. And look at the house of Israel. Somebody got and stole their identity. See, it's known. It's known. This is something that's been known to happen. They stole woman's identity in Genesis, the first chapter. The first chapter set it up, and they stole it in the first chapter, the second chapter, the third chapter, the fourth chapter. And it is what they said that it is, but it ain't. Because y'all didn't send a he, her, them again. He sent him. Well, wait a minute, Father, y'all. If it was her, why did you send him? He didn't do it. She did it. Right. Because y'all missed it. The Roman Catholic made it look real pretty and good for you. And right now, they can sure laugh at you because it's 2026. You still the same fool yesterday. You still the same one today. So now we finna get into this faith. And this faith gonna shut a lot of y'all down. It's gonna let you see yourself for who you are. Because too many people are riding on all of this fleshly deception, wicked and evil. But what we finna do, what faith finna do, faith finna set every last one of y'all tails down. How about that? How you like me now? It's finna set your tails down. It finna show that you've been lying. Nobody, it ain't that so much as somebody's been lying to you, been lying to yourself. You know why you've been lying to yourself? Your own worst enemy. You know why? Because just like Sister Deborah, when I received the breath, you did too. So when we received the breath, guess what you came with it? Truth. So you know what that truth came with you for? So you can't blame nobody else for you not knowing it. You see? You judged before you judged. Heaven's got you judged anyway. He got two books. One to go into the fire, one to go for eternal life. Two books. If you were written before you got here, okay? Understand, he knew that you're going to return back to both one of the books that he either wrote you in or the other. He ain't going to switch you out. You're going back the way you came down, okay? And Yeshua, the Son of Man, died for everybody. Every male and female. But Hamashiach redeemed those who are branded back to the bosom of the Father. For they are written in the Lamb Book of Life. See? Okay? So now we finna step into faith. Faith, let's go. Let's rumble. So I was ministering to myself. I was preaching. Felt really good. In Hebrew chapter 11, verse 1, it says, faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Faith is the substance of things hoped. There go hope. One of the brands, 4. And the evidence of things not seen. So when you walk around here and portray, you got faith. All your faith. You can't do that. You ain't got it. Because faith is not something you claim. Faith as a brand claims you. And it don't claim you like you. It's in you to uphold you by it. Faith. It gets you to do things by faith. But it's only found one place, y'all. In your inner man, not your flesh. You cannot use the faith of the spirit for the faith of the flesh. The faith of the spirit is separate from the faith of the flesh. The faith of of the spirit rest in your spirit. And the faith of the flesh rest in your flesh. And this faith in your spirit has its appointed purpose. It don't work based on your spirit. It works based on the spirit of Yah in you. That faith upholds patience. You see? That faith upholds righteous. So you see how people walk around and claim faith as is it something they brought to themselves, or they hold on to it. But that's also remind me of a lot of things, why people can't do what is right. This is why people can't. You know why people can't do righteous? Do you know why people can't believe? Do you know why people don't have faith? You know why people don't have the fear? You know why people don't have this hope? You know why? It wasn't given to them. Faith to make you do things your flesh would even ask you, wait a minute, hold up. What you doing? Oh, yeah. That's what faith is. Faith is the substance of things unseen. Faith of the evidence, the substance of things hoped for the evidence of things not seen. So this shows you faith cannot be something that you can see. It has to be something that's working in you. And it don't belong to you. Because the only one can activate this faith is the Spirit of God. So as I was preaching in the car and I'm just minister, and I began to say, and very few shall find. And I said, wait a minute. Very few shall find. It goes right back to that narrow gate. It goes right back to that narrow gate. The very few shall find. Because finding faith is exactly what I'm doing right now. I found faith, realized faith. I ain't realized, I already knew faith wasn't something I can mess with. I'm going to be honest with you. I knew it was something that his right hand messed with. His stretched out arm. But me, I always knew that, y'all, even when I was a teenager. I knew faith wasn't something. And that's why it bothered me when I used to be in the church and people used to say, yes, I thank the Father, I got faith. I got faith. He said, if you had a faith of a mustard seed, you can move a mountain. Let me see one of you move a mountain. I dare you. Let's see what kind of mountain you can move. And then you wonder why all those signs and wonder Yeshua has done. He said we should do greater. Why haven't we done it? We can't move mountains. What we don't have. It's role playing. Everybody's on this thing about role playing. People are acting the role. People are playing it for all this work. So let's go to here. Hebrew chapter 11, verse 1. Now, faith is the substance of things hoped for the evidence of things not seen. Stop thinking you can see faith. It don't rumble that way. Okay? Verse 2. For by it the elders, back in the days, by the faith, the elders, they obtained something. What did they obtain? Good report. They didn't obtain a good report because they're the elders in the church. They the bishop. They the prophet. They the prophetess. They the Maureen. They the seer. They the priest. They the apostles. You can't obtain faith. It's something that moves things in Yah's order. It ain't something you can take a hold of. Not even your spirit can just take a hold of this faith. You're branded with it, but Yah has to move it. The Most High Yah has to get this to move. He didn't give it to you to be in control of it. He still got to move it. And he has to move it from him in the inside of you. Not you ruling it. You don't have that power over faith. Okay, so here it says the elders back in the day obtained good reports. Why? Because of the faith. They obtained it, not that it was what they did. You see? Verse 3, through faith, we understand that the world was framed by the word of Yah. Stop right there. That just told y'all a whole handful. Listen to what it says, verse 3. Through faith, we understand. Now, we know that there's two understanding. One understanding to the flesh and one understanding to the spirit. Now, when we hear of wisdom and knowledge and understanding, it's found in the spirit of the Holy Spirit. Now, you have a understanding, a wisdom, and a knowledge in your flesh as well. But here, he's letting you know in verse 3, through this same faith that you can't see, Deborah, tell them. Through this same faith, we understand that the worlds were framed by the word of Yah. So that shows Sister Deborah how she's dipping way on the deep end. They can't reach that end that I'm dipping in, because that faith has not been branded in them to dip over to the end that I'm in. So I can't hold them liable for something they don't have. I don't have it. It has me. I don't have it. It has me. Listen to what it says in 3. Through that faith, we understand. There go understanding. Which part of that understanding? It's not the understanding in the flesh. It is the Ruach HaKodesh. That's what understanding. Through faith, we understand that the worlds were framed by the word of Yah. Didn't I tell you, if they missed Genesis 1, they'd have missed the whole book. Right there, it just identified to you all that the word of Yah is not the words of this book. The word framed the worlds. Who is the word? Who is the word? Yah. In the beginning was the word, and the word was Yah, and the word was with Yah. It was with him in the beginning. This book wasn't here in the beginning, y'all. So he's showing you how faith, through the faith, we understand. We understand. Who is we? The ones that are branded. Through what? Faith. Here it is. Having this brand, you're going to understand, not just, you can have more than one, but faith itself, it's going to allow you to understand that the word of Yah framed this world. And that's why 99 times 15 billion have no idea that the word framed the world, the worlds. The word created the worlds, y'all. The word. He spoke it, the power brought forth. What the word spoke, the power brought it forth. We run around here looking at it a whole different way. But it's the way we were taught. And we still today believe that. But what does that do for the creator? That don't give him his prompts. It don't give him his glory. It don't give him his honor. It don't give him his praise when we think this book is the word. Then what does that say about him? Listen to what it says in verse 3. Through faith, we understand. There go that understand. Through what? Faith. That the worlds were framed, mean made, by the word of Yah. So do you think that the world was framed by this book? Since you say the book is the word, did this book frame the world? This book don't have faith, you guys. This book don't have righteous. This book don't have belief. This book don't have faith. This book don't have fear. This book don't have hope. But yet we made the book the word. All because every last human being that came to the earth with the breath came with truth. And the Father said they prefer the unrighteous and the ungodly while they holding the truth. Truth standing there right there with them. But they rather take the unrighteous route, the ungodly route. Now here he's telling you that the whole world was framed. And who was partaker through the faith? Who is this faith? It belongs to him. He's the brand owner of all of this. So when it says here, the world was framed, now we look at the whole world. It was framed by the word of God. The creator, the Father, the Most High Yahuwah, I am that I am. He is the word. These books are words. They're here as study guide. Only study guide. You're supposed to study only to show yourself approved, rightly dividing the word of truth. That's letting you know the word of truth has to be divided because the lie is forever being added to it. I go to the Barnes and Noble and I wanted to cry, and he told me, you better not. Don't you go there. The Father will stop you. I'm telling you, don't you shed a tear. It is what it is. I mean, y'all, it is so many new so-called Bibles. You see? To where when you want to get a King James, it's hard to find it. And if you look into these books, it will blow your mind. The words that they added, it tells you a whole different story. But I don't have a problem with that, because when I look at the King James, even the 1611, people fail to realize the same ones that smeared all the others smeared this one first. Oh yeah, and this is why 99.15 trillion don't understand the word of Yah is not the words. Okay, the Roman Catholics, the Jesuits, and the faith ooze over there, they made all books from elementary to preschool to toddler books to even college, Harvard University, all of them. They created all of this. Okay. So here in verse 3, it tells you, so that things which you, watch this here, so that things which are seen were not made of the things which do appear. Listen to what it says. Verse 3, through faith we understand. Who is he talking about we? It's only those with these brands. Okay? We understand the world was framed by who? What? How was the world created? How was it framed? By the word of Yah. But only one knows that is those who is told that we understand it through faith. See how faith plays a role in it? Okay. So that things which are seen were not made of things which do appear. You see? It's even letting you know that. So when you get to verse 4, it says, by faith. Oh, wait a minute now. Hold up. Abel's finna pull up. Only by faith offered unto Yah. So when we see Abel and we see he's a good young man, and we see that he does right, why? Faith bagging him up. Faith. Brother man came down here with faith in his spirit. Listen to what it said in verse 4. By faith, Abel offered unto Yah a more excellent sacrifice than Cain. How did he do that? By faith. Woo! See, people would give a glory to Abel. And that's what I learned as a teenager. I said, why is it in this here book? Everybody get praised. Everybody get exalted. Everybody get magnified. Everybody get set up on a pedestal outside of the Creator himself. I was young thinking like that. It just was, it's confusing to me. I'm trying to figure out wait a minute, he created all things and he don't get nothing. That's right. That's about right. Okay, so here in verse 4 it says, by faith, Abel didn't do anything by his own self, y'all. By his own self. That's why you can't wait for someone, or you can't desire and want people to do something. It's not going to work. People don't have this in them. You can hang it up and you can put it down. Because only by faith, faith takes people to the next level of doing what is pleasing to Yah. See, y'all don't get that, do you? It's sitting here looking at you right in your face. Verse 4. Hebrew chapter 11, verse 4. By faith did Abel offered unto Yah. But how did he do it? By faith. Not by flesh, but by faith. That's why I say a lot of people move, but they don't move by faith. Because they want a big role in everything, to the point they want to make sure their hands is in it, their heart is in it, and their mind is in it. Their doing is in it. To where when the Ruach say, bam, by faith, they don't go by that. They go by how they see things should be done. How I'm going to do it. This is the way I'm going to do it. This is the way it's done. Because they don't want to wait. They don't want to even have anything that faith has to do with. Because people are so into anything they do, it has to be them. And they have no idea. When it's you, it's not him. Because by faith, it'll take you out of the realm in the way you do it. And it'll put it in the realm of what? What Yah wants you to do. What do you mean by that? Go back to 4. What does it say? By faith, Abel, by faith, Abel offered unto Yah a more excellent sacrifice than Cain. See, there it is. And this is where people and how people are and always was and going to be. Because they don't have this faith that they move on. This faith is not something that allows your flesh to move on, or your flesh to be partaker in, or your flesh to decide, or your flesh to determine, or your flesh to say this. Oh, the flesh say that. Oh, no. This how you know if you got faith or not. It's when you move on what Yah says, move on. And you ain't, like he said, very few shall find therein. And he's meaning the righteous way of doing things, period. To the point that they can walk straight through the narrow gate, all the way to the gate to eternal. Why? Because they know these things exist. You know how he said, he that walk in the spirit, this is what he's talking about, y'all. All of these here brands in the spirit is what you have to walk in. When you don't have this, then you're not who you say you are, or you think you are. You see? Because he said he that walks in the spirit, we have to walk in the spirit. These are the brands that's in the spirit, baby. People do not understand. Father don't want your hands all in things. If he's having you to do anything, it's done by faith. And by this faith, it's just something in you automatically trust. And whatever Yah bring forth, he's bringing it by faith. And I trust that because that's in you. And these things is why you can't see that in the world today. It's blindsiding you. I'm serious. You can't see it, and you're looking for it. You wonder where is that? And, oh, Father, but this, and Father, but this. It's not in people. These things are not in people, and they don't even understand. When you walk in the spirit, these are the things should be walking with you in the spirit. So here it says, by faith Abel offered. But by how did Abel offer a better sacrifice than Cain on his own? No, it was by faith. That's what faith have you doing. What pleases Yah, not what you call pleasing. What you want to do and how you want to do it. It's the way Yah want it done. And it says, by faith Abel offered unto Yah a more excellent sacrifice than Cain, by which he obtained witness that he was righteous. By faith showed that he was righteous. Abraham was in the vision. He believed, and Father told him, bro, I counted you as righteous. You see that, y'all? So what you're doing is exactly like I've been saying to you all for a long time. You're clowning for no reason at all. You see, these are the type of people that are going to go before the throne with that same gameplay, thinking they didn't war it out on the earth. They're going to get to the kingdom thinking they're going to play it, but they don't understand. You already written, baby. He already know you. He already know where you're written. Okay, so here it says, and I like that. Listen to what it says about Abel. By which he obtained witness that he was righteous. What made him righteous? Faith. See, I keep trying to explain to y'all, these things you have to have in your spirit. How do you have these in your spirit? How do you know you have them? Through the Holy Spirit. It will bring those things to you, not bring them in with it, but it will enlighten you that these are the things you have within you. But ain't nobody's want to wait or want to be done or want tonight to be waiting and be done. Nobody trusts in this here stuff. None of this. Nobody, y'all. People do not have nothing to do with this. And then that's why I was saying about, I end up was preaching to myself in the car, and I say, and very few shall find their end. And I had to stop. I said, where did that come from? I said, that's a part of it. That's why people think they there already. And they are a long ways from anything. Okay. So it says that Abel, by which he obtained witness that he was righteous. All because of faith. Yah testified of his gifts. See that? Yah testified of his gifts. Now, did Abraham have real gifts in the flesh? No. He's talking about all these gifts Abraham came down here with. And who's the witness to it? Yah. See, y'all don't get it, do you? It's sitting looking at you dead in your eyes. In verse 4. You can pretty much take this and give it to a third grader and they can break this thing down, make it make sense. That's how simple it is, sitting here looking at you. And it's telling you, it's got faith in there. It's got excellent sacrifice. It's got he obtained righteousness is in there. You look at the Father even letting you testify of his gifts, and by it he being dead yet speak it. That's what I'm talking about. You know what he said? Abel still dead, but yet speak it. You know why? I try to explain that to you, which I know a lot of y'all didn't understand it. You know how I be talking to you all, and I say, "Wait a minute, Solomon, what you talking about?" Or I might say, "David, where you coming from? What you talking about?" See, y'all don't get that, but it tells you don't get it. It tells you because it takes you to have this or these. We're the one that understands this, okay? That's why it's not given to everybody. It's not for everybody, people. Now watch this here. If you sit and you look at this here, and at the end it says, and by it he being dead, yet speaketh. And all this time, y'all have heard me year after year after year. I'm always talking about when David say something, Solomon or who else in it, Jeremiah, Ezekiel. I turn around and say, "What you say, Isaiah? Wait a minute, Isaiah. Wait a minute. Hold on. Acting as if I can actually hear them. They're still speaking, even though they're gone. I tell y'all that through even when I talk about Solomon and David. I say they still speaking to me. I know it. Now, I try not to get y'all to think that they're speaking from the dead. It's just deep. Y'all just don't understand it. I'm telling you. But you think I give a rest behind? You don't understand it? No. If you are on a mission from the Most High, y'all, are you gonna be about the mission, or you will be about trying to please people? I'm gonna be about that mission that Father sent me on. Because look at what it says in verse 4. And by it he being dead, meaning Abel, yet speaketh. This way in Hebrew. Because people don't understand. I can get so bullheaded to where the Father is talking to me about something, revealing something. He'll turn around and say, "Go over there to David," or "Go over there to Solomon. Go to Jeremiah." He'll tell you. I go up in there and they'll break that thing down. They'll break it down. "Hey, Deborah, bam, 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 bam. Oh, man, I got it." You see what I'm saying? That's how it is when you have the Holy Spirit in you. And it takes you places that no man can go. You see? And it breaks things down to you to the point where it tells you exactly where you can go to understand what he's speaking to you in your spirit already. And then he'll say, "Go to Jeremiah, go to Ezekiel." I go into Ezekiel and I find that one or two words that he was trying to tell me all the time. And it all makes sense. So even him speaking, being dead, yet speaking, that's what I be doing. I know y'all probably didn't pay me no attention when I be saying, "Solomon, hold up, Solomon. Hold up, David. What you mean, David?" That's what I be doing. Because I'm hearing it. I'm feeling it in the spirit, what is being said. Meaning I'm understanding behind understanding. I'm looking at these words and I can still understand behind these words, because it's not what you see that you believe. It's what you don't see, but yet believe. That's how I am. Okay? So in verse 5, it takes us to verse 5. And it says, by faith, Enoch. Wait a minute, hold up. Everybody want to say Enoch did, Enoch did. Hold up. Enoch had to have what? Faith. Enoch was translated that he should not see death. By what? Faith, y'all. Now, what was faith? The substance of things unseen. So he didn't see it. He didn't. Where he get it from, Father, y'all? Where he get it from there, Father, y'all? You see? Where he get it from, Father, y'all? Faith. Look at here in verse 5. But faith Enoch was translated that he should not see death. By what? By faith. Faith is the substance of things unseen, but yet believed. He believed it because faith drilled it in him. Not drilled it, rest in them. Okay? And watch this here. And it says, translated that he shall not see death, and was not found, because Yah had translated him. For before his translation, he had this testimony that he pleased Yah. I heard that. That sounds good. He knew he pleased Yah. Okay? But I like the idea of when we talk about Enoch, when we talk about anybody, you have to see what's in front of them, y'all. Faith. One of Yah's brands are in these people's spirit. It ain't them, they flesh. That's why I said people put Enoch on the top. No, come back down to the reality of truth. By faith, in verse 5, by faith Enoch was. Woo! By this, not by himself or by what he says, but what we do is we lose the Father. We lose the power. We lose the how would I say, the anointed one, the holy one, when we just give it all to Enoch, and Enoch did, Enoch said this, Enoch said that. When you finish anything Enoch said, can it redeem you? How about that? Anything Enoch said that you didn't read, pull that bad boy up where he redeeming you. Or pull up that bad boy words to show me he can redeem you. But this is what we do. Yah shows us examples of those he used, and we give them the glory. We need to get our butts back and give the glory back to where it's due, the Most High Yah. And this is why, and I was a teenager, y'all. I was frustrated with that. I couldn't understand. I said, why everybody else got to get the praise, Father? And even to today, nobody wants to give the Father the glory, the honor. But that's why he said, don't worry about it, Deborah. You watch what happened. I already got it set up. That power won't get that glory. See, they want to talk about the beginning and the end. They ain't seen the beginning and the end. They don't know what the beginning and the end is, because like they think they know the beginning, and you did prove to many of them that they didn't have the beginning. They never knew the beginning. But wait till they pull up and find out what I am like, really, in the end. You want to see something, you're going to see something. So you think you saw something. You ain't seen nothing yet. You want to know who he is? He ain't playing. See, you want to see something? He going to show you himself. And then you run around here talking about every tongue going to confess, every knee going to bow. Y'all sick. Just if you only had sense enough to know who my Father's in is, you'll see why they bow and why they tongue going to confess. Anytime the earth and the heavens take off running because they saw the face of Yah, come on now, y'all, and was never seen. They fled in Revelation 20. They took off running. Who? Earth and heaven. They took one look at him on the throne. They took. See, y'all don't understand who the Father really was and is. And because you never understand who he was, who he is, baby, you can't say nothing about that end. You can't go around. He the beginning and the end. He Alpha and Omega. Sit your tail down. Furthermore, you don't even know who he was in the beginning. So what makes you think you can cap him off at the end? You can't. Because none of you knows what he was in the beginning. Who he is. To where you don't know what he gonna pull up at the end. So y'all hear them talking about every tongue gonna confess, every knee gonna bow. You doing right, they're gonna bow because they're gonna realize what the end really represents. Since they want to come, oh, he Alpha and Omega. He beginning and the end. Wait till that end pull up and let's see. You're going to have something to say then. You see? And that's what he saved for last. That's what he saved for last. And then I said, well, why you keep saying in the heathens and the Gentiles going to know? And the heathens and they're going to know and the Gentiles going to know. We don't care if they know or not. But Father, why you keep saying and the heathens and the Gentiles going to know? They're going to know that power for what it was. They're going to know that power for what it is. They're going to know that power for what they're going to see it's going to do. And they're going to know then. You mean we've been messing with this all the time? Oh, my. I'm telling y'all. So be careful running your mouth, talking about he's the beginning and the end. Because to say that he's the beginning, you should know the beginning. To say that he's the end, you should be able to cap off who he is at the end. But just to be running around here running your mouth, shut up. Until you're able to identify who he is at the beginning. And you're able to identify what he's going to be at the end. Because if he's greater in you, he already schooled you. How great he's going to be at the end. As great as he was in the beginning. He ain't playing at the end. So that's why I say a lot of people have heard all these churches and these quotes, and they just repeat whatever they hear, not even knowing anything. They don't know nothing. They don't want to know nothing. They whatever. But you know what, baby? This here has to know you before you know him. How about that? How you like me now? This got to know you first before you know him. And if you don't have this, you don't have him. What you have is your flesh. And that's why your flesh is ruling him. Faith is so powerful, you guys, to the point where people don't obey the voice of Yah. If the Father came to you in the midnight hour and he told you to do something, you wouldn't even hear him. You know why? You got to have this. You got to have this. Why? You got to have this. Because this is going to tell you what to do. It's going to even lead you to the power. It's going to lead you to the righteousness. It's going to lead you to the hope. Okay? We finna see that. Okay? So here in verse 5, Enoch, by faith. So it's letting you know Enoch ain't nobody. But by my faith. Abel wasn't nobody. But by my faith. You see what I'm saying? And then he says, now faith is the substance of things hoped for, but the evidence of things unseen. So we know you can't see it. So what are y'all talking about? See how we put everybody above the Most High? While they using by the things that he's using them with, we get him the glory. And he's sitting here telling you by faith did Enoch. Okay. Now, in verse 6, it says, but without faith, it is impossible to please him. You see how y'all been lying? You see how you see how deep y'all been lying on him? Oh, he told me to do this. He told me to do this. Oh, he put it on my heart. He told me to do it. No. That's why nobody can't line up with what he really tell them. Because they telling themselves. And they go ahead of him instead of stepping back. One thing I definitely believe is staying back, way far back behind the Father. I'll never pull up on him. Ooh, no. He taught me that. Always stay at a distance, Deborah. No need to pull it up. Because people pull up on the Father in a way they think they know him like that. We best friends. We bestie. We cool. You know, I know you like that. No, baby. I'm not the one to come telling me something different every day. I don't know him. That's why he's teaching me daily. Because I don't know nothing. So if I don't know nothing, I don't know him like I should play this game with everybody that I do. And people who do that, they don't have this. Because listen to what verse 6 says. Without faith, it is impossible to please him. You see? So while you running around here thinking you pleasing him, you're not pleasing him. Especially if faith is not leading you. Nobody don't want to have nothing to do with this. This will tell you to do things that's not even in your program. This here have you doing things that's not even in your program. And don't nobody want to go off of their protocol. They say, I ain't stepping out of my comfort zone. I ain't stepping out of my zone. I ain't finna do nothing. I ain't about to do nothing. Because you don't have this. And most likely, if you don't have this, you don't have this, nor this, nor this. Because as we continue to read, you're going to realize that this represents this, and this represents this, and this represents this. You're going to understand they all in the same category. But this here, ruling it in the unseen. Okay? So here in verse 6, but without faith, it is impossible to please him. To please who? The Most High Yah. So while you run around thinking you pleasing him, doing the things that you're doing, that's you. That's you. That's why people can't come out of that zone of the way they do things. Because they want to say, oh, this is the Father doing this. This is the Father's will. But if it was the Father's will, he wouldn't want you to do it this way. Because this way pleases you. This way don't please him. This pleases you. And you lock him into you to where faith ain't helping you out at all. Because faith is a substance of things unseen, and that bad boy can move a mountain. Oh, yes. What did he say? If you had faith the size of a mustard seed, you can say to that mountain, be thou removed. See, y'all think I'm playing. You see what I'm saying? It's because people don't even have faith. And when you don't have faith and you don't have these brands, guess what? The Ruach will activate these things in you. Why? He said, walk in the Spirit. Did you also understand these are also the works? These are the works. By faith, do you do everything that represent Yah? These are the works. Oh, no, they don't know nothing about that, Deborah. Where you coming from? See? He just told you. Verse 6. But without faith, it is impossible to please Yah. So how can you please Yah with your works if you don't have faith? I was in that car preaching to myself, and it sure felt good. You can't. People think when he ain't like that, he gonna accept us just as we are, and he said we blameless. Oh, baby. He also said the gate was narrow, and very few shall find it, the way to eternal. He also said a small remnant getting up out of here. See, people, I'm telling you, we have taken all the thunder out of the midst of serving Yah. People don't know him for who he is, who he was, and who he's going to be. That's why he's going to show up with that power at the end. And them knees going to bow, and them tongues going to confess. Is it going to do them any good? No. See, that's what y'all didn't know, did you? Your tongue confessing, you bowing down ain't going to mean a rat's behind. It ain't going to do you no good. You're only doing it because of what he going to throw down and what you going to see. That power cut up. And that's what's going to cause you to confess. That's what you're going to be bowed down to, is when you see that Omega. That's when you're going to go down. So I like verse 6 because it's telling us right here, without faith, it is impossible to please him. For he that cometh to Yah must believe. Look at it, y'all. Don't look at me cockeyed. Believe. It's telling you right here. But without faith, there go faith. it is impossible to please him. For he that cometh to Yah must what? Believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him. Seek him. Now, what is he saying? He's saying seek him. But no, we want to see every character in this book and make them above Yah. He's saying here, and that he is the rewarder of them that diligently seek him. Not Enoch, not the book of the giant, not the lost book, not the found books, but seek him. Can we seek him if we seek in everything else? No, you can't. Because you're so busy finding another book to where you never found him. He was in the beginning, as he said. You still don't get it. Okay? So verse 7, listen to what it says. Now watch this, listen to this. It says in verse 7, by faith, there you go. There go faith. Nor being warned by what? By faith. By faith, nor is being warned of Yah, the things not seen as yet. You see? Faith. He was warned about the things that he hadn't even seen yet. Who took him there? Faith. Faith. Okay? Moved with fear. See, listen to it. Now, I want you to go right back there. Let's go back there. Let's go back to verse 7. By faith, there go faith, nor began being warned of Yah of the things not seen as yet. Now watch this here. Moved with fear. There go fear. Faith, fear. You see the characteristics that's being shown to you all, what they had? That's why you can't run around here and say that you holier than thou. Oh, I'm saved. I got the Ruach. And you ain't got none of the gifts, none of the works. This is why you can't walk in the Spirit. Because you have none of its characteristics. You're walking in the flesh and saying you holier than thou. You got the Ruach, but you ain't got none of these. So here it is. He's sitting here saying that even Noah, by faith, and then turned around here, and we still in verse 7. Yet moved with what? Fear. There go to fear. I told y'all these are brands of the Most High Yah. These are the works. Okay. Now, that's why he said. That's why he said that no man is what I can't by their works. Their works. That means the work of the flesh. But by the works of the Spirit is the real work. That's the real work. Okay? Prepared an ark to saving of his house, by which he condemned the world and became heir of the righteousness which is by faith. There go to righteousness. Which what is by what? Faith. Now, I don't know if you all know this or not. You probably don't have your book out, your study guide, pen, and a piece of paper. This here should be wrote down, okay? Even what I'm going through in Hebrew chapter 11, because it's showing you things that apply to every human being on the face of the earth, male and female, young and old. This is what you call truly food for your spirit. I'm going right back to Noah. And it says in verse 7, by faith, Noah being warned of, by what? By faith. Now watch this here. Being warned of Yah of the things not seen yet, but by faith. He was warned. Now watch this here. Moved by fear. There go fear. Okay. Prepared an ark to the saving of his house, by the which he condemned the world, and became heir of, there go to righteousness, which is by faith. You see that? You see all that Noah was detached to by Yah? You see? But we want to stand here on the earth and claim we just got it to the utmost. Yes, they're going to fear. Yeah. You see? We just think we just got it going on because we say we got it going on. And I don't care what nobody say. You know what? I'm going to tell y'all something. I'm going to say it like I said it to my mother. I can come here and I can open my mouth, but Sister Deborah is the last that you're going to hear spirit and truth. Anybody that have followed me and listened to me, this is the last shot for you. I don't know if you know that or not. This is it. I don't care where you go, where you head. You've been following Sister Deborah. She done gave you so much food for your spirit. Your spirit should be busting wide open. Why? It should be ready to tell somebody else what all you have learned. Okay? Okay? So verse 8 says, now he finna go up into Abraham by faith. By faith, when he was called to go out into the place which he should after receive for an inheritance, obeyed. How did he obey? By faith. See, faith is all of this here is really a living. I mean, it's how would I say it? I can't say it. It's light. I can just say light. It's Yah. It's all Yah. It's who he is. Let's put it like that. So here we go, and it's telling you by this word here, Abraham, when he was called to go out into the place which he should after receive an inheritance, obeyed. And he went out not knowing whether he went. Now, one thing I'm going to tell you, y'all missed. I'm going to tell you the mystery that y'all missed is by faith, it changes the way you think, the way you function, the way you believe, the way you act, the way you do things. You would never know it's the faith if you never step into it and step out of yourself. See, that every last one of them stepped out of themselves. Themselves were out of the way and faith took course. People will not move in this day and time. In this day, people won't move their stuff out the way, so faith can have its place. Oh no, I'm not gonna let that happen. I got the rule. I got to be in control. I'm not gonna do that. And this is why you ain't gonna find this in people. And that's what he means when he said the gate is narrow and very few shall find therein, because they haven't found that this here is the works. These are the brands of the Most High that lives in your spirit. And when he come in, all of this get activated and you be on the go. But what happened? People don't move on it. They move on their flesh. And they call it Yah said, Yah doing. But see, Yah won't match up with you. When he does something, he knows the situation in which he knows. And when he does something, he's going to come out of your protocol and step into the protocol with his faith. Not your protocol with your faith. But see, that's something about flesh. It ain't going to let people step out of their protocol. Because it's like, hey, I can't do that. I ain't doing nothing. That's because they're lacking it. And this here is a good thing for me to understand it, because it makes me understand why people have the mindset that they have, why people are the way that they are. You cannot hold people liable for not having these things. And that's why I said it'll benefit me to really hold firm to these, because these tell you really who you're dealing with, who's before you. And no matter what they do and how they do it, this here is going to show up to show you who they are. You see what I'm saying? People do not come out of their protocol. They don't come out of their zone. They stay in their flesh zone. And if they can deal with you in that flesh zone at hand reach, hey, that's how they good. They content. They love the Most High from that level. They ain't gonna care too much about them from this level, this level, this level. Why? Because these have to be in them. And this will show you up and show you out. What do you mean, Sister Deborah? It'll show you really who you are, who you were, who you been, who you think you are. Okay? So listen to this here. So listen to verse 8. By faith, Abraham, when he was called to go out into the place which he should after receive for an inheritance, he obeyed. Why? Because faith. And he went out and not knowing. See, faith is the substance of things unseen but yet believed. Y'all ain't waiting on you to do what you want to do. He's waiting on you to do what he tell you to do. And people got a hard time with that. It ain't that they got a hard time with it. They just still living in the flesh. They don't understand. Most people are just born to walk in the flesh. And before they get that flesh up and the way the flesh want to do everything, they ain't letting nothing come in. None of this is going to be revealed to them. That's what's important to them. It's not important to nobody but to you. Because if y'all going to let these reign in you, then you the one supposed to be, this supposed to be your works that's in you. In your spirit man. Working on the purpose that y'all have in you. But how you know them is by their fruit. These are also considered likened to the fruits, but these are the high level of fruits. You know them. See, people thinking you ain't gonna ever figure them out. You ain't gonna really know me. You gonna think you know me. I sat back and I thought about how being on here, everybody see me, they know me, and probably didn't look and seen where I live and everything else. But for them, I'm not afraid. For what? For what? I serve him. And I serve this fear. Right here. And it ain't that I serve it, but this is the fear that's in me. Okay? So now we're going to go somewhere with this, y'all. Watch this here. Verse 9. By faith he sojourned in the land of the promise. See? He didn't go into the land of the promise. By faith he sojourned. See, y'all, faith was leading him. Could he see faith? No. Faith was always there with him. Abel, when he came to the world, when he birthed, when he came as a baby, faith was there, showing him the way. And right here it says, verse 9, by faith, Abraham, you're talking about, he sojourned into the land of promise as in a strange country, dwelling in tabernacles with Isaac and Jacob, and heirs with him of the same promise. By faith. So tonight, don't ever look at faith different. Look at faith for what it is. It's unseen, but you got to understand it is a part of who the Father is. It's his doing. That's what it is. It's his doing. Okay? Like when it say if he send you on he said he ordained you, predestined you. He did that through his power of his faith. He predestined you. He ordained you. You see? That was through the faith. Not through yourself, not what you're capable of doing, not what you know how to do, but through him. Okay? Verse 10. No, I don't know if I go to 10. Let me see. Nope, I don't go to 10. I go to 11. And the verse 11. Through faith, also Sarah. See that? Through faith, Sarah herself received strength. Sarah was too old. Her body was too old to have a baby. But through what? Faith. Could you see the faith? No. It says here regarding verse 11, through faith also Sarah herself received strength to conceive a seed. All that faith did that. And you see how y'all running your tail around, call everything you, me, I know, I did this. Everything is what you done. That's why you substitute have done it, because these here does the work. And faith is the overlord. This shows you how people put too much emphasis on themselves, placing themselves on all these high pedestals. That's how all these places of worship and these synagogues and these temples and these moorings that's on this here YouTube, these watchmen, these seers, these pastors, these evangelists, these prophets, these prophetess, these bishops, these apostles, these priests, these popes, they put themselves so high, y'all. None of this manifests in these people. And they could care less. They don't want it. Okay. So here it's telling you, even with Sarah in verse 11, through faith, also Sarah received. What did she receive? She received strength through what? Faith. So you know that has to be y'all. How did her old body gain the strength? It tells you she received it through faith. To conceive a seed. Through what? Through faith. Through faith. And for her to receive all of that, watch this here, and was delivered for a child when she was past her age. Yeah. That holds faith. Faith has a lot to do with what you're doing today if you fall under the category of the Most High Yah. That's if you do. I can truly understand him having a small remnant. I can understand him having a narrow gate, because so many people are portraying holier than thou. So many are portraying they represent the Father. So many. And all this light the sister is bringing out in this midnight hour shows up the darkness. It makes people think seconds where they really stand or where they need to stand with Yah. Okay, so Sarah is saying how Sarah through the faith gave her the strength to conceive a seed, even to deliver past her age, because she judged him faithful who had promised. She judged the Father faithfully who had promised that she would have a seed. Okay, so the next one was and is, let's drop to verse 17. Okay, we're still in Hebrew chapter 11, verse 17. Okay, in Hebrew chapter 11, verse 17, it reads, by faith, Abraham, when he was tried, offered up Isaac. So people be wondering, see, this is what I'm going to give you the example. You know, people would brag on Abraham because he was going to sacrifice Isaac because Yah told him to. No, y'all. Go back. You see? Oh, faith. Abraham believed. Oh, Abraham had faith. Oh, he believed. He did. He didn't second guess the father. He didn't do this. He did. Y'all, back that thing up and laying that thing down. Through faith did Sarah. Through faith did Abraham. Through faith did Abel. Through faith did Noah. Come on now, y'all. You have to know where the glory goes. You have to see where the honor should be placed. This is the Father. Now listen to this. Verse 17. By faith, Abraham, when he had tried, offered up, when he was tried, offer up Isaac, and he that had received the promise offered up his only begotten son. When they teach that, they need to stop teaching it to where it was all about Abraham. You got to go back to the beginning. What does it say? Faith. So you see here in Hebrew chapter 11, everybody went to every lad. They go to Noah, they go to Abel, they go to Sarah, they go to Abraham, they go to Enoch, they go to all these people, giving them all this prompts, and they fail to go to faith. Give faith the glory, give faith the honor, give faith the praise. And when you're giving it, then that's when you know you're stepping into the right realm. Yeah. I told y'all when I was a teenager, that was really crazy. It's still like that to me today. How people wants to serve everything outside of Yah. And that's him. That's his faith. So he's saying here how Abraham faith to sacrifice Isaac. But it says by faith. Abraham wasn't sacrificing Isaac because he wanted to be obedient to the Father, or he was righteous with the Father. He was sacrificing on this here guideline right here, faith. And that's what everybody missed. And that's why all through here, and it says that's the whole ideal of this here, showing you by faith. It's trying to teach you that faith played a big role in many things. Give it its prompts. Who's do it? Yeah, but they ain't gonna do that. They got to give it to man. They got to give it to man. You get to verse 20. By faith, Isaac, look at that, blessed Jacob and Esau concerning things to come. Listen to how I said. Why couldn't Isaac bless Jacob and Esau on his own? Because faith. Because of faith. You see that? And when you say he blessed them, now you got to say he faith by righteous. He gave them the faith. He used faith and told them righteous. What does it say? Concerning the things that shall come. So they dealt with faith and really righteous. Because he told them. Who told them? Their own father. Isaac. Blessed. You see that word blessed? Jacob and Esau concerning the things to come. How was Isaac blessed them? How could Isaac have blessed them? Through faith. By the faith. That's why I say, y'all, that's why it's a substance of things. It's not something you see. It's not something you give. Faith is a gift from the Father. All of these are gifts from the Most High Yah, but he don't get no glory for it. He don't get no praise for it. Because that's how stuck on stupid we are. We think we entitled. It's about us. It's always about us. Never about giving him the glory and the praise. Now, all of these in Hebrew chapter 11, write down any chance you get, every one of them that's telling you by faith. It's letting you know from Genesis all the way to the end. It's telling you about faith. But so who holds this here? Yeah. But we ain't going to give him no credit for none of this. Oh, Abraham believed. He believed. Abraham didn't believe nothing. He was in the vision. How could you believe in the vision? That's why the Father said, no, bro, I counted you already under righteous. you're branded with righteous. That's what he was telling them. Okay. So now you go to 21. It says, by faith, Jacob, when he was dying, blessed both the son of Joseph and worshiped, blessed both sons of Joseph and worshiped, leaning over the top of his staff. By what? Faith. Jacob's dying, but by faith, he still blessed Joseph's two sons in the process of still worshiping the Most High Yah. How did he do it? By faith. By faith. Then you get to 22. Is that 22? Oh, we did that. We get to verse 22. By faith, Joseph, when he died, made mention of the departing of his children of departing of the children of Israel, and gave a commandment concerning his bones. How did he do that? He did it by faith. By faith. By faith, Joseph, when he died, by faith. Okay, you go to 23. What does it say? By faith, Moses, when he was born, was hidden 3 months of his parents. Was hid 3 months of his parents, because they saw he was prepared, was a proper child, and they were not afraid of the king's commandments. So by faith was Moses hidden. By faith. See, and when y'all overlook that faith, when you do that, you're actually trying to rob the Most High Yah of who he is. Do you know how we as the tribe of Judah said somebody got our identity and they trying to take our identity and all this? Do y'all know that is the same thing we on this earth hoop and holler about? Is the same way we've done the Father. Same way we done the Father. But yet, we have issues because people have done it to us. We have a problem because the world has done it to us, but we never can see where we done it to the Creator himself. And we can't even see it. Even when Jacob stole his not stole, but yeah, in a sense, his brother's birthright. Look at us as a people. Somebody took our birthright too. You see that? In the beginning in Genesis, they took the woman's birthright from there. From Genesis chapter 1. They stole her birthright. It's been going on, y'all, since Genesis. And this is what the Father say. They missed Genesis. Deborah, they missed that whole thing. Yeah, they need to go study it. You see? So in verse 23, it says, by faith, Moses, when he was born, he was hidden 3 months of his parents, because they saw he was a proper child, and they were not afraid of the king's commandment. So they hid him. But how? By faith. Okay. So in verse 24, it says, no, I'm not supposed to go to 24. It says 27. In verse 27, it says, by faith, he forsook Egypt, not hearing the wrath of the king, for he endured as seeing him who is invisible. Okay. Who was that? By faith, esteemed, reapproach Christ's great riches, then the treasures in Egypt. Oh, yeah. Okay. So verse 28, by faith, the walls of Jericho fell down after they were compressed about 7 days. Now, you see how that wall fell down? By what? By faith. So the faith is almost connected to the power. Would you say? Just give me someone in the live. What do you think? You think that faith is connected to that power? We know it's Yah's. It's Yah's faith. See, people, you can have righteous faith, you can have fear, you can have wisdom, you can have knowledge, and you can have understanding in the flesh. That's not the same as the understanding, the wisdom, the knowledge, the faith, the fear in the spirit. The fear, the one in the spirit overrides the whole world. That's how powerful it is. Just imagine you sitting here living, and you're gonna live out your living on this earth, serving your flesh. And then when you serve your flesh, then you don't serve the true wisdom. When you serve your flesh, you don't serve the true knowledge. When you serve your flesh, you don't have the true understanding. You see, you don't have the real faith when you serve your flesh. You don't have the real fear when you serve your flesh. You don't have the real hope. You don't have the real belief, and you don't have the real righteous. That's why, didn't you heard of people say self-righteous? Self-righteous? See, people don't know that. And they should have, but they never cared to even want to know. And that's why that gate where he said, narrow is the gate that leads to the way to eternal. See, this is why he said, very few shall find therein. It's because honestly, in this midnight hour, we all should be enlightened. But no, it's the opposite. That's why the gate is narrow. In verse 29, it said, no, did we do 28? Yeah, 29, it says, by faith they passed through the Red Sea as by dry land, which Egypt, it said Egypt, as saying to do where drown. The soldiers were drowned. But this is the thing, by faith, they passed through the Red Sea. Now, by faith, sound like the faith is connected to that power, or do it not? It sounds like the faith is connected to the Most High's power. That's what it sounds like to me. So you see how we are getting away from the power of who he is? So if faith is connected to the power, guess what that's saying? All that time we learned that the power was what? The right hand and the stretched out arm. Now, to say that the power holds faith, that's dangerous. That's dangerous. That said, we've been lost for a mighty long time, and yet we still lost if we don't understand that. That's how simple that is. It sounds as if it's connected to the power, because it talks about faith. By faith, the walls of Jericho fell down. You see? And faith is not ever on the left side of man or on the right side, or man is not on the left side, or man is not on the right side of faith. Man is nowhere around. By faith, Abraham was going to sacrifice Isaac, but that was by faith. So it's somewhere along the line that this faith is not connected to nothing. Now I know down the line, it's no connection to your flesh. So your flesh can't be getting around here thinking it's all that and something, it's doing something. That faith is letting you know, hey, I don't need you. I belong to Yah. Yah belong to me. Okay, so the next one was 30. And in 30, it says, by faith, that was Jericho. And 31, it says, by faith, the harlot Rahab purged not with them that believe not. Wait a minute. Rahab. By faith, the harlot Rahab purged not with them that believe not, when she had received the spies with peace. Okay, I remember her, but by faith did she do that. So it wasn't that she was doing something so extra. So let me explain to y'all what the Father is saying. He said, throughout people's living, They should have never detached the flesh to the authority of the flesh of man, because they won over the actions that we read about. When it came down to all the brands of the Most High, that he brands the spirit of his, we forsaken all of this, and we gave prompts to those who Sarah, who had a baby at her age, but we lost the word faith in the midst of it. When Enoch, we lost the word faith. Because if Enoch, it said, watch what it says here. By faith, Enoch translated that he should not see death. By faith, could that be? You see that? So how did everybody else get the glory and not faith? And then people, I'm going to be honest with you. I've been to too many churches. I've heard it too many times being preached. If you can just have faith of the side of the mustard seed, you can say to that mountain, be thou removed. If you can. Faith the size of the mustard seed. Because faith in the eyes of Yah is Yah. And if you got just that little of Yah in you, he's letting you know. You can say to that mountain, move, and it should be moved. But what Yah is saying, people, we have forsaken faith as if we can handle it and toss it away. But it was something we should have spoke on. We should have taught the people. We should have ministered it. We should have preached it in the line of the brand of Yah. And through these faith of Yah, all these things were possible with those who represent him as his servant. So we won't be giving them the glory. We won't be giving them the honor. We won't be putting them up on pedestals. But we never, because we did the opposite, we lost faith. We lost the understanding of faith. Could we have gained the faith? The understanding of faith? Yes, we could have, but they didn't preach it. They didn't teach it. They didn't minister it. And you ain't gonna find it nowhere on these devil platforms, because they don't understand what faith is. They think faith is something they can swing. If you just have some faith, you can be able to do whatever you want. Just have a little bit of faith. I know this old hymn. It used to go, faith, 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 just a little bit of faith. And I'm like, and I even, when I go back to them old hymns, I be like, y'all lost. Yeah, it sounds good. It caused you to feel that thing. And them old hymns be sounding good. But if y'all hear the words in which these old hymns, the words out of them, they don't match. They don't match the spiritual realm. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry I bust that bubble, but it doesn't. It just shows you that we can get that emotion feeling from them old hymns in our flesh. But when it come down to hearing the words of what these songs are saying, there's no anointing in the word. I know this one song came out, I used to sing it all the time. And I ain't gonna say I sing that. Let me not say I sing that all the time. Because once I heard it and I thought it was really stupid. But it was the beat and the bass that was what it. I found Jesus in time. No, I found God in time. As if God is lost. If it had not been him, he said, if it had not been him finding God in time, or Jesus in time, it was a really popular song. But once you look at it, you say, when was they lost? That you needed to find them, not them find you, but you needed to find them. I'm telling y'all, it's a lot of things that Sister Deborah dissects, just listening to things and hearing things. And it's a blessing to be able to hear behind here. And at the same time, it's long suffering. It's enduring because you're hearing behind here and you're hearing exactly what people are saying, but they're not saying what behind what they're saying. So therefore, when I'm sitting here and if I listen, like they got this one guy, he's bald headed, he's tall, he's dark skinned, he looks like he's about 68. And out of nowhere, he's booming all on YouTube. And I'm like saying, now them elites didn't put that man up there because there's no way he should be all on all. Every time you turn your TV on, every time you turn your phone, there he is. And I'm like saying, no, And he in all different kind of churches, all different kind of settings, just like that guy named Bolton, I think Bolton, but he passed away all of a sudden. And nobody never said, see, that's what I'm saying. The way they got this thing set up down here on this earth, they'll use you till they use you up. And after that, they let you know you're out of here. They get you out of here. And that other man named, what's his name? Durbin. If his wife and kids would tell the true story, but I know it has to do with their life. They living. If they want to continue to live, it had to be. Yep, that man just died out of nowhere. I'm telling you. And he was more closer than any Hebrew Israelite on this earth. Any closer. He was real close to a lot of things. And a lot of things even he was saying is a lot of things that I have been fully aware of. 100%. And I sit back and I can listen to him and say, see how he had to get out of here, all because of what he was talking about. And then you giving it to your people and you leave out of here trying to give them food for their spirit. That's why I say it's sad. It's sad on this side, but on the other side, you all going to be sad. See, you got to understand the Father is not going to measure you by what you think you can be measured by. He's gonna measure you based on where he first and foremost where he got you measured anyway from the kingdom. But a lot of people thinking it's their actions and who they are and what they see themselves to be. Oh no, baby, that's not how he measures you. He told you in your own eyes is clean in your own eyes. That means you picture yourself to be all that and some. But there are spirits that have conquered you. And have taken over you. And people do not believe it, but it is the mindset. Now, I'm going to end this with the faith. Now, with the faith is also, when I was in the car, I was thinking about the faith. And after I was done ministering to myself and preaching to myself, I began to say to Father, it makes a lot of sense. Nobody wants to abide by that you already put in front. They want to put you in the back. And they be in the front because they want to rule things from the front end. They don't want to rule it from the back. Okay. See, from the back is when the Holy Spirit tells you what to do. You see, make this move, bust this move, go this left, go this right, come up, go down. You know, they don't want to go by that way. They want to be in front, in the front line, telling the Holy Spirit, I'm going to do this and I'm going to say, you said do it. Or I'm going to put it on you. You see, that's how a lot of people gonna get caught up and get left down here because they thinking they being smart, they being cunning. Because anytime that the Yah is supposed to be in a person, he's supposed to lead you and guide you, not you get in front of him and lead and guide and not ever waiting for him to tell you A, B, C, D. You just go on and you make your A, you make your C, you make your D, you make everything the way you say, and then you'll turn around and say, this is what the Father said, this is what he told me to do, this is what he told me to say, this is what he wanted me to do. No, he ain't doing all that. Because if you have to do what he tell you to do, you're gonna be just like anybody else that was told to do something and didn't do it. Because you ain't going to abide by what he say. You're going to abide by what you say. Because people have themselves in the front of the line. Y'all on the back burner. Let's say that. I'm going to end it right there. You on the front line. He's on the back burner. But the time that he's speaking of, the end, the omega, That's what people are going to get a taste of. Because they're going to realize you ain't never been ruling it like you thought. You've been ruling your flesh, calling it spirit. You ain't been ruling your spirit. You've been ruling your flesh. And your flesh, your spirit allowed it, your flesh to have its way. And then your spirit became like unto your flesh. And your flesh became like unto your spirit. So they start to walk in the way of the world, but yet call it holy, the Ruach, the light, spirit and truth, righteous. You see? And when they get to talking about, he says, walk in the spirit, and you won't fulfill the lust of the flesh. These are the things that you walk therein because it's in you, walking in you. You see? You can even line these up with faith and fear and hope, up with the fruits of the spirit. You see? So he said you know them by. So he's letting you know that the characteristics of Yah is present in us. You see? And it works through us. It's before us, it's on every side of us, and it's in the back of us. We're walking in it, not before it. You see? So I, Sister Deborah, appreciate each and every last one of you all tuning in. I hope you got something out of faith. Faith is not something you play with. Faith is faith, and it belongs to the Father. I, Sister Deborah, say appreciate each and every last one of you all in the live chat, and I will be back. Shalom and shalom. They changed this whole setting